Okay, that scale right there. Hey everybody, I'm Eli Prinsen from hybridvocaltechnique.com. That scale right there lived right in the radio notes, or as most of you know them, the money notes. Tenor, high C, middle C. That section right there, this section in here, is where most of, or the majority in history, most of the best choruses and verses in popular music live right in that section. And not too much argument, I was going to say arguably, this is the most difficult section for most singers to sing through, okay? So what I just did, just fooling around at the intro of this video, is I started at tenor high C, and I started in my head voice, okay? Head voice, up there. I went through these notes, okay, and went through my mixed voice, middle voice, whatever you want to call it, and landed down into the true chest register, okay? But I did it in a way to where there was not a break or a shift. Took a lot of training. I've been at this for a long time. Me, ma, me, ma, me, ma, me, ma. So if you can't do that, what you probably end up with is something very breathy. Me, ma, me, ma, me, ma, me, ma, and then shout to get back in, okay? Well, if you have that problem, come see me. I can help you with that. hybridvocaltechnique.com, okay? But today's video is on the radio notes, the money notes, working this weird section of transition in the voice. There's so much to this, okay? Vowel modification, placement, vowel tuning, support, airflow, coordinations, handoff between cricothyroid and thyroretinoid and all kinds of nonsense, right? We could talk about it forever, but let's keep it simple just for today, okay? I want to give you a couple tips here, take with you. You can use this with the billions of other vocal YouTube videos if you'd like, okay? So a lot of people, before they understand their voices, will basically do magic tricks to evade this section of the voice. Some of them do it pretty good. Not gonna argue with that. So think about it this way, okay? Very common vocal exercise we've all heard a million times, and we've probably all done it a million times. Mom, 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 mom. Right? Mom, 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 mom. You can cheat like crazy and get nowhere except for good at doing a magic trick to sneak around that bridge, right? Mom, mom, mom. Stayed in my chest voice, right? Even though it was a G4, how did I hit a G4 in full chest voice with this low voice, speaking voice? Well, thin the sound out. Thin the sound out. You can't expect your chest to go high if you, ma, 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 if you're shouting, and you probably get stuck right there if you could even make it there with a voice like mine. But I thin the sound out, resonate, place, all the crazy stuff I talked about earlier. And up here at high C was in head voice. Ma, 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 right? So I could cheat, mom, 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 with a straight scale. All right, so do yourself a favor when you're training. The things that you suck at, the things that are hard for you, focus on that. So what I like to do in hybrid vocal technique is take a standard SLS scale like this and then throw a little legato in there to expose those bridges, to make my students, the same way that I did this, force them to work the bridges like this. Mom, 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 mom. So instead of mom, 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 where you might be tempted, if you don't have that bridge ironed out, you might be tempted to cheat there. But if you go legato on that and you focus on the shape of your voice and the placement and the resonance, the volume, the sound pressure, etc., you can work this section right in here. The radio notes, the money notes. Mom, 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 mom. So that's in a little arpeggio increment, right? If it was the full octave, mom, then of course, there's nothing breaking there because I've got it overlaid or overlapped, okay? What I mean by that is a point A to point B bridge okay, say this is head voice, this is chest voice, all right, that would be, you would probably, if you didn't have your bridges established, a lot of you are doing what I used to do when I was a kid, you would try to do a magic trick through there. If you were doing a something like that, you might try to use excessive breath, and still have a little bit of a shift in there or a bump or something, right? So with a lot of training, you want to change your mindset from point A to point B, from register to register, to what? Overlapping, overlaying. And then that section there is what? Mix, middle, okay? So doing your standard, if you're studying SLS, if you're studying bel canto, hybrid, whatever, it doesn't matter. Do yourself a favor, throw a little legato in there. Little legato goes a long ways, what my teacher used to tell me. Mom, 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 mom. Get it first with the little mini compressions in there. Mom, 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 mom. And get away from trying to do a magic trick. Or bringing the head voice all the way. I've seen it all. And I did it all before I took lessons, okay? So I know this is all over the place, but just trying to give you a few tips here for that section, the radio notes, the money notes, right in there where all the cracks and transitions and bridges and things happen, right? So if you're using different lyrics, okay, or different vowel sounds, different articulations, getting the tongue involved, the articulator, you want to work with the articulators. You want to work with different shapes where the mouth is included, like we, nay, nah, we, all things that are going to give you different shapes in the front, and also the consonants, the internal, what my teacher used to call garbage mouth. That ruins everything that we do open. Okay? So the consonants, you got to throw words in there, lyrics in there. You need to translate this open training to actual words. Wee, 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 wee. No, 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 no. Nay, 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 nay. All right, and so on and so forth. I do things with my students. In hybrid, we actually use sentences to go through our octave and a half, right? So arguably, for guys like me, baritones, and guys with lower voices, the basses, it's tough for them to get up past like E or to or past like maybe between D, E, and G. It's usually like the most hated notes in the world, right? So if we start out, okay, because I want to stay in the radio notes for this video. So if we're doing the top note there is the dreaded evil G, right? Okay, so you get really good at doing these, right? If you're not doing those magic tricks I was talking about. Now, after you do that, throw some sentences in there. Okay? Larry and Moe and Curly are the best Three Stooges. It's just one of many of my crazy sentences. They're designed, my students know this, they're designed so that you're working the consonants, all right? Because, of course, we need to, at first, work on establishing all the bridges, learn how to get an even volume, so on and so forth, all the different training. But if you don't translate this to actual singing, you're going to fall apart. And that happens quite often, okay? So anyway, that about does it. I could go on and on and on and on because I love this stuff. But that's just my a little bit of knowledge for you to chew on today as you practice your own stuff, whether you have your own scales, you study with me or somebody else. Just think about these things I said today. Apply it to what you're doing, okay? So if you need help with your voice, if you'd like to train your voice, come see me at hybridvocaltechnique.com. I teach online on Skype. I also have home study programs, all kinds of programs. I have a membership, VIP membership, which has all of the entire HVT library, the flagship 3.0 program, all kinds of extended studies programs and add-ons, online community, live streams, Q&A live streams, legacy content from my teacher, all kinds of stuff, okay? So there's a lot of options there. Make your dreams come true, okay? Train your voice. Right now, I got a huge sale going on, by the way, as you can tell by the Christmas tree. Holiday sale's running. All right, so go check it out for yourself. Links are in the description box. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. See ya.